Thanks, Pedro and Michael. As you can see, the Juju ecosystem, from creating charmed operators to publishing them to consuming them via the Juju CLI and CHARMHUB, have been thought through with community at heart. Imagine a world where operations code and integration code is publicly available, tested, secure, and strengthened by the entire community. Clearly, this is a world that makes daily, weekly, and monthly operations tasks easier and more automated. But it means that we need to build these charmed operators in the first place. I'd like to introduce Rob Gibbon, who will walk us through exactly what that is beginning to look like in the machine learning space. Remember, after Rob, we'll be hosting a panel discussion with Mark Shuttleworth, representatives from AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, the CNCF, and Finance World, as well as the GitOps folks at Weaveworks. Without further ado, Rob Gibbon.
Thanks, Dave. So, I hope you've been having a great time in the operator day today. So, well, we wanted to solve a problem, and we found one in the MLOps space. So I'm going to talk to you about a real-world solution that we built based on Juju. When we analyzed what's going on with MLOps, we found a great opportunity to build a solution that really works and addresses real user needs. Here are our findings. I'm Rob, and I'm a product manager at Canonical. So AI and ML, it's a growth industry, right? Many of you are likely interested in this space. One of the biggest challenges folks face is bringing data scientists' research to production. There are several open source solutions out there, but they can be fragmented, often lack vendor support, can be immature, and can be really, really complicated to deploy and manage. And the alternative, well, is to pay for systems or online subscription services, which can get really expensive and may not be everyone's cup of tea. Well, we're Canonical, right? And we're focused on open source software. So we've looked at open source ways to try to solve these challenges. The top issue that we found was operational maturity. Nobody wants to spend long hours on error-prone manual tasks. And so automation and great tooling is critical to the success of ML projects. We found that the alternative folks face, if they don't use a solid MLOps platform, can be fragile systems that are hard to maintain and don't scale well. And that can lead to disappointment and frustration all round. So just to back up for a moment, so MLOps is a derivative of DevOps. DevOps is a set of processes to help improve the overall quality of software-driven services. In DevOps, there's a continuous automated cycle between development, testing, release, operation, and monitoring. Probably already know this. In MLOps, the cycle is adapted so that it works for machine learning. So that means like model training following into validation workflows, but then feed into deployment and monitoring of machine learning models to continuously assess model performance over time. As inference models drift from baseline accuracy, automation triggers a retraining of the model, and the cycle starts over again. So MLOps pipelines are typically composed of multiple phases. In the graphic on the screen, you can see a few of the kind of typical example phases that an MLOps pipeline is composed of. So each phase may require multiple steps and appropriate retry and error handling logic. For example, the fetch data step may need to source data from several different data sources, align the data, verify its integrity, and check it for quality, and transform it in various ways like aggregation or format conversion. But building this stuff is challenging. If you're in this space, you probably already know that. The industry and the people in it need a low cost, operator-driven, open source solution, right? Well, that's what we've been working on. We've made steps in that direction, but we invite you to join us. We've got pretty far. KUBEFLOW is an open source MLOps platform, and it's composed of about like 30, actually a bit more than 30 microservices. And it runs on Kubernetes clusters, making it pretty portable and a pretty versatile platform, but it's non-trivial to deploy and operate. 30 microservices, it's a lot, right? Well, yeah, I mean, you've probably got an application out there with 30 microservices as well. So this is not unfamiliar territory. I mean, we found there were like 4 common problems and solutions that benefited us and could probably benefit you too while using Juju. So firstly, if we could build our operators in a consistent way, it would make development, testing, and release more scalable for us. If we could define relationships between the microservices that compose our KUBEFLOW solution, it would be possible for the deployment to auto-configure itself. That would massively reduce the operational complexity for managing a deployment of the solution with like 30 plus microservices. Thirdly, if we could reuse the work we've done in different configurations, like a light version or an edge version, or even standalone components like Khatib, then you folks could deploy the setup exactly how you want. And lastly, what about component reuse in other ways, like databases and data stores? For KUBEFLOW, you need Minio, but you also need Minio for MLflow, which is another thing that we've built an operator for. And we also built integration hooks between MLflow and KUBEFLOW. Our experience was that Juju offers us a pretty decent toolkit for building the solution because it covers a lot of that ground. By developing our charmed version of KUBEFLOW, we set about making things easier for all of us. So to recap, our goal is to provide a fully supported, highly automated MLOps system deployment and operations management solution for everybody with a far better economic profile than online subscription solutions with minimal friction, no usage constraints. But honestly, we haven't stopped at KUBEFLOW. We've gone further. We're on a mission to build a comprehensive offering for MLOps that satisfies all of the community's needs. So we've built operator logic for other solutions as well, like Seldon Core, MLflow, Apache Spark, and Apache Kafka. We've got more in the works. So as a relatively small engineering team, I don't think we would have been able to package and deliver this solution without Juju and the CHARMHUB software distribution system. And sure, there have been bumps in the road, but we've been able to ship fast and bring something quite unique to market. Just wanted to mention that CHARMHUB has a few features that helped us to get our solution promoted and get some eyeballs on it. Most notably, we've used the CHARMHUB topic pages, as well as the each charm's own page, in order to provide our users with information and guidance on the solution. So whether you're interested in MLOps, or you're interested in building out a similar solution to bring to market yourself, check out our charmed KUBEFLOW solution for inspiration. You can follow the QR code to get to the website. And let us know your thoughts on discourse.charmhub.io. That's all from me. So thank you very much. Stick with it, and back to Dave.